Hey everyone, welcome to the Commissioner's Clubhouse on the LCC Network. We're in February, we're in the midst of it. The NFL season is finally over, unfortunately. But with us today, we got Isaac.
What's up?
Hey man. And we've got Jameson too. What's going on, man?
Yeah, excited to be here. We got a lot of content. I'm excited for this episode. So we've got another, again, quick announcement. We've got Hall of Fame point totals for every owner in our league. We've got number 10 through number 6 noteworthy trades of the LCC. And then we've got some rapid fire trivia at the end. So, which Isaac put together. So that's going to be really cool. So,
all right, now time out. Before we keep going, I just want to say, Pat said the season is finally over. I mean, was dreading the season to be over, and now we have nothing to do until August.
Well, I will say to me, there is something exciting about the NFC offseason, or not NFC, the NFL offseason, because there's so much going on, like with trades and free agency and scouting. I get kind of excited around this time of year. Most people are bummed out and bored, but I'm just as pumped as week one.
As far as I'm concerned, we're in the 2019 season already. Like this is how you build a championship team right here, boys. So
I know, but it's not entertaining to watch.
Well, no.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's not continuous.
Except for draft day, if you watch that for the first night and then, fall asleep the second. Seventh rounds. And
a couple months till that's up. So, all right, so quick announcement, like every week, payment for the 2019 fantasy season's due no later than March 3rd. Again, preferably late May. Get that in. We'll keep posting that on the message board and other places too, so don't forget about that. We'll move right into Hall of Fame point totals here. We're going to show where everyone stands. We're going to talk briefly about some of the things that were considered here. Pat, I mean, I don't remember the scoring metric completely, but I know it was like division titles, playoff wins, point milestones, consecutive milestones, things like that. So it's purposely set up to reward playoff success, not as much regular season success, because we didn't want guys to get in the Hall of Fame simply by playing for a really long time. So it's definitely more. It leans heavier on the playoff side. So it's going to be awesome. We'll go through it now. We'll start with the Elite 12. And we'll start with our only Hall of Fame owner here, Jade, 203 points.
Hey.
And 203 points in 8 seasons. He's averaging 25.38 Hall of Fame points a season. Which is amazing. I mean, when you look at the average for all of the other owners here, it's unreal what Jade has done in 8 seasons. By a landslide. I don't know if can you guys see this here on the show doc, the averages and everything?
Yeah. I'm looking at it right now.
I'm just looking at it. It's like he had no competition back then,
He had great.
That's just me.
I mean, that was like John and Jordan and Pat. I mean, there were a lot of successful owners back then.
Yeah, well, you also got to think too. Like when he was part of that 16-team league, man, that was really tough. I mean, I don't care whose fantasy league you're in. When you have 16 teams versus 12 teams, it's way more competitive, and there's less depth. So you really have to do digging to find guys off the free agency and later draft picks too.
Yeah, that was definitely a tough year. I think Isaac doesn't remember the Jade kind of like runs because he wasn't here yet. I think if you ask anyone else, like Jordan or anyone else like that, I think they'll remember how dominant he was, back in the day.
Boy, I mean, obviously his division was one of the worst in the league this year, but he still made the playoffs and almost
lost to me.
Yeah, but almost beat you though. Almost. It was close.
Almost is freaking nothing.
That would have been. You caught yourself.
Yeah.
I was waiting for it.
That would have been the upset for the century, though. If Jade had beat you in the playoffs, that would have been a huge.
You know what the upset of the century was? When Mike beat you last year.
How was that the upset?
Yeah, that was.
The upset of the I was 7-5. I wasn't like super dominant. That wasn't a huge.
I know, but nobody was expecting that to happen.
Oh, for sure. Weren't you like the 3rd seed too? You were like the higher seed in the wild card.
Yeah, you gonna throw me under the bus. I'm gonna throw you right with me.
Oh, but you beat Jade by like 20
All right,
points.
keep going. Keep going.
In a miserable game, you want to forget. We'll move on here. Cameron, I know he's going to love us talking about him. 127 points in 9 seasons, so one more season than Jade. He's averaging 14 Hall of Fame points a season. A lot of regular season success, a couple LCC title appearances, but no victories. And you can really see that's where the difference is. It's those victories that Jade's got. I'm going to play that a little bit later for somebody else. Patrick, 110 points there for him. 9 seasons. Patrick, you're kind of known for your playoff or your regular season success. 9 seasons, 7 appearances, only 2 playoff wins in 9 years.
Yeah.
So, dude, I won in the first 2 years. I was 20-4, and I didn't win a playoff game.
You're like when Andy Dalton got the Bengals in the playoffs 4 years straight and they lost.
Oh, yeah.
You're like
and Carson Palmer and every Bengals quarterback.
Yeah. You're like the Cincinnati Bengals. And then you've got John, 105 points in 9 seasons, averaging a little over 11.5 Hall of Fame points a year. Me in fifth in our league, in our conference, 73 points in 6 seasons, a little over 12 Hall of Fame points a year. Billy, 49 in 3 seasons. He's averaging over 16 Hall of Fame points a season, and he had a lot of that this year by winning his division, multiple playoff wins, and a long run. In fact, he got almost all of that this year. So those kind of runs will do that to you. Isaac's kind of in the same boat, 38 points for 3 seasons, averaging a little over 12.5 Hall of Fame points a season. Kyle?
I mean, you can just round out to about 13.
It's
12.
We're not
6 to 7. I mean, if we rounded.
12.67. Exactly. I'm not right. In fact, it's 12.666666. I rounded it up to 6-7 for you.
Well, thank God you had to put 3 6s on there.
Yeah, that's the devil's mark. We ain't doing that.
Throw some Jesus numbers. Throw some 7s in there.
Kyle, right after Isaac, 35 points in just 2 seasons, 17.5 Hall of Fame points a season. He got literally all of it in his first season, running all the way to the title game. But you can see that's where those runs come from. You make deep runs, you're gonna accrue points quickly. You know, so even after a miserable season, he still is ahead of other guys like Tyler. 28 points in just 6 seasons for Tyler.
Man. Oh my God.
7 Hall of Fame points a season. I did the math for Tyler. It's going to take him over 50 years before he makes the Hall of Fame. So I found a clip that I think would be similar to Tyler's Hall of Fame induction speech. I just want to play the first few seconds of it here. 1 second.
I'm over 72, and I feel great.
So that's what I think. That's what. That's what I think Tyler's gonna sound like when he makes the Hall of Fame induction speech.
Yeah.
So he's quite a ways off.
Yeah. By the time Tyler gets in the Hall of Fame, he's gonna be on a Viagra commercial. Is what you're saying, basically.
Yeah. He's gonna be in the draft with his great grandkids, making sure he doesn't drool on himself. He's gonna be like, this is my year, boys. It's gonna be all of our grandkids because we're all dead at this point.
Yeah.
So after I told Tyler that too, so I'm not picking on him. He already knows. I already called him.
He already knows. He already knows he's bad.
He knows he's bad. Mike, 14 points in 2 seasons. He's averaging 7 Hall of Fame points a season. He got all of those last year. Peyton, 7 points in 2 seasons, which is really, I think, underachieving for the teams that Peyton has had over the last 2 years, especially as offensive players. And then Bryson, 0 points in just 1 season, obviously averaging 0 points a season.
Why are you laughing, Pat?
You got to explain why it's 0, though. We got to go back to the awards from 20.
Oh my God! So, man, under the weather, making me cough. So Bryson, you get points for all sorts of things. Having a Hall of Fame player, an MVP player, becoming like a rookie GM, all sorts of stuff, point milestones, everything. Bryson didn't have any of those because he hasn't been in the league long enough, but he was the only rookie GM this year. And instead of winning the vote, 17 people voted against him winning the vote. So we didn't have a rookie GM. So Bryson didn't get any points at all towards his Hall of Fame. And I think if I remember correctly, he voted against himself for that award. So I just feel so bad for him, but he's got to coming up. So,
exactly, man. He can't get any worse. He can't get negative points. So
yeah.
So Bryson.
Exactly. So good to him. So I think I touched on most of these talking points here. You know, Jade, 200 points, is in the Hall of Fame. That's great for him. Cameron and Pat are the next closest, but you're both, I did the math, at your current pace, Patrick, you're still 8 years away from the Hall of Fame. at your current pace.
Oh my
and that assumes that you keep going to the playoffs year after year after year after year.
Oh no, he's not, because I'm going to put his ass out of every
Yeah,
year.
right. Yeah, right.
So if you make it 8 years, that would be 17 total years you've played. So that's how hard it is to make the Hall of Fame. You can have a great regular season, and it could still take you 20 plus years, but Jade did an 8. So I mean, it really is an accomplishment.
That's kind of, I mean, that's what I'm like. You know, some people give Jade a hard time for being our first and only Hall of Fame owner, but I think that just goes and shows you how dominant Jade was from 2010 to about 2015.
Show shit. He was
a
person. They had young people in there that had no idea what they were doing.
God.
We're all older and wiser and have more knowledge. It's harder now than it was before.
It's all right. Isaac just doesn't know those days.
He doesn't.
When it's no ID.
And especially, we'll talk about this, you know, later in the offseason, but I love Jade's team right now, where his players are valued at and where they're going to be valued, I guess, once we update the scoring and everything, which I'll be doing this weekend, actually. But yeah, I don't know. I think that just goes and shows you how good Jade was for that 5 year span.
And you were sucking Christian McCaffrey off earlier this season. Now you're sucking Jade off in the offseason. Who's next?
I'm telling you, man, Christian McCaffrey, I mean, ask anyone, the best PPR running back in the league this year, in anyone's league, really.
You took away
throwing out facts.
But you took away my respect for him because that's all you talked about for how many episodes was just Christian McCaffrey, and then you called me out in every episode. I'm going to get an angry text from Isaac because I'm talking about Christian McCaffrey again.
Is knowing that you were going to open your podcast every Monday morning at your job and listen to Patrick talk about Christian McCaffrey.
No, then that could have edged me on even more to talk about Christian McCaffrey, knowing it bothered Isaac. So it just made me have to talk about him even more. But,
all right, moving on.
We're off the rails. Speaking of Isaac and Billy, both took steps, like I mentioned, toward their Hall of Fame legacy. This season, deep run. So bright future for them guys. Kyle collapsed, but he's still averaging 17 Hall of Fame points a season. So if he has a great year next year, he can still be ahead of most of us on those averages. So
still ahead of Bryson.
Yeah. So we got the top shotters here. No surprise who's number one in the top shotters. Cody, 192 points. He's only 8 Hall of Fame points away from being a Hall of Famer. He's averaging 21.33 Hall of Fame points a season. Back-to-back titles. He's got points for that. He's got points for doing it consecutively. If he can win a division title this year, I think that will lock him in, if I'm not mistaken.
You mean when he wins it? Not if. It's just when.
Well, he didn't win his division the last 2 years.
I know
he's got playoff wins, but if he just wins his division, I think that locks him in for the Hall.
I know, but if he gets in the playoffs to win, he'll still be past that, wouldn't he?
Oh yeah, if he gets in the playoffs regardless, and wins a game.
That's what I'm saying. It's just all right, Cody. Next year you're gonna be in there. Prepare yourself. Get your Hall of Fame speech ready, and we all look forward to hearing you.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna applaud you until next season. I'm gonna hold that for now. So you got to earn it, buddy. You got to earn it. Listen to me talking to Cody about earning it. He's got 120 more points than me. Matt is second, 160 Hall of Fame points in 9 seasons, a little over almost 18 Hall of Fame points a season. That's the back-to-back titles there. He's still 40 away, so he's still probably a good season or two. If he gets the championship this year, that will probably lock him in.
He's a good stroke away.
He's a good stroke away.
That's what she said.
So you were just waiting for that. Colby, third. No surprise, he's got a title, 145 Hall of Fame points in 8 seasons. So less than Matt and Cody, 18 Hall of Fame points a season. If he can get a title, he would be pretty close, I think, if he won a title this year. So he's not way out. Jordan, 120 points. That was not. I didn't expect it to be that high. I forgot how great he was back in the day. 9 seasons, 13 Hall of Fame points a season.
Back in the day, what are you calling saying Jordan's not good now?
No. I mean, Jordan's solid, but
he was like one win away from getting in the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
Oh yeah.
20. I think it was 20. No, it was 2014 when he went to the championship and lost to Jade.
Yeah.
So not that long ago, he was in a little critter ball.
And I was looking.
I guess that was like 5 years ago.
I was looking at rosters to put these points together, and Jordan had a dominant team in 2014. I don't know if you guys can go look at that from the page or whatnot, but his team was
Daquan, that's in the past. We worry about the future.
Isaac just doesn't even want to talk about this stuff, man. He just wants to skip the Hall of Fame altogether.
I want to get back to my trivia questions.
All right, we're making our way there. We're making our way there. Daquan, 78.
Making our way downtown. Sorry.
Daquan, 78 points, 9 seasons, a little over 8 Hall of Fame points a year. That's not fantastic. He's got to really step it up if he wants to get in the Hall of Fame. Storm, 43. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm choking over here, man. I've got like a.
That's what she said.
That's damn it.
That's what she said.
So sorry about that. 43 points, 8 seasons, a little over 5 points a year for Storm.
It's terrible. He has 43 points in 8 seasons. I have 38 in 3 seasons. I mean, that's terrible.
Yeah. Sorry,
man. Dude, I remember one year Storm drafted Ocho Cinco in the first round when he was with the Patriots. Does anyone remember that year? Probably not, because he wasn't very good, and he's been a first-round pick on him.
That was before I was in the league, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't remember that draft. But I do remember Storm. I don't think I've ever beaten Storm. I've only played him like 2 times, which is a really like embarrassing skid mark on my fantasy football career.
Skid mark.
It's definitely
he's calling you poo.
Hunter, 35 points in 2 seasons, just like Kyle. 2 division titles, some fairly okay runs in the playoffs. Hunter's on his way there. I like his teams a lot. David, same situation, 34 points in 2 years, averaging 17 Hall of Fame points. Same thing, two division titles. If he can make some runs, he can actually start accruing some Hall of Fame points. Mufali, according to Isaac's note.
It's Muff Folly.
Oh, Muff Folly. Sorry, Muff Folly. What's Mufali's real first name, by the way? What's his name?
I don't even know.
Patrick, do you know Mufali?
I think his name's Steven. I think it's Steven.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Okay. I've never seen him or heard him or heard his first name or seen a picture of him.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Cool
Yeah,
I
thought you met him at the 2014 draft. You probably don't remember that. That was a long time ago.
No, I don't remember that at all. 19 points, 3 seasons. He's such a good player to have only 19 points, and that's because he's made the playoffs the last 2 years, but he hasn't won a playoff game yet, and he didn't make the playoffs his first season. So I forget that he's only been playing for 3 years because he's one of those, to me, one of those kind of contenders every season. Dominant team. So I expect
like yours truly.
Yo, mine? Oh, thank you, Isaac. You're such a sweetheart.
Yeah.
Yours truly is me, bull.
Valentine's Day's coming. You should take me out. Michael, 8. What? You won't take me out?
You got a wife.
She can come. I don't see what's wrong with
She
that.
should take me out.
Why would she do that? She would take me out and I would take you. Boom.
Okay, that works.
All right, that works. We'll schedule it.
Call my receptionist. She'll set you up for an appointment.
Okay. You say so.
Thanks.
If you say so. Michael, 8 points, 2 seasons, 4 Hall of Fame points a year. Not a lot going on there. Charles, he's actually got 10. I didn't move this up because I just made a slight adjustment. 10 points in 4 seasons. He's averaging 2.5 Hall of Fame points a season. So kind of
slow
like
down
Tyler.
there, Charles.
Slow
down.
Kind of like Tyler, 100 more years and he'll be there with him. So
2.5. The only person that's going at a slower pace than him is Bryson.
Is Bryson?
No, sorry, that's not true. Our next person is actually.
I'm gonna say,
Yeah.
can you not read?
Yeah, Kevin's got 2 points in 2 seasons. The 2 points came from the 2 points came from division wins. So you get a point if you win your division, or not your division, if you win a divisional game. So that's why Bryson had 0. Didn't win a divisional game this year. So Kevin's 2 points came from divisional wins.
Just thinking 198 more years, he'll be in.
I was thinking the same thing, Pat.
He's gonna have to go to like a cryogenic chamber and draft out of that for 200 years.
I'm gonna say he's gonna be dead. His grandkids are gonna be dead. His great grandkids are gonna be dead by the time. I mean, that's terrible.
They'll just keep the legacy going.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Cody, just to kind of recap that, I think Cody clearly is the next inductee. I think it's gonna happen next season. We'll be back on this episode next year talking about it. Matt and Colby are close. I think if they can get a title in the next year or two, they can do it. But there's definitely still some work, from getting there, especially Matt with the way he's done the last couple of seasons. David and Hunter again moving in that right direction. Storm, is he playing anymore? I don't know. That's Hunter has 4 times, or he's played 4 times as many seasons as Hunter, and Hunter leads him in Hall of Fame points. Not 4 more seasons, 4 times as many seasons, and Hunter leads him. So
yeah.
I
think I mean, Hunter's a solid owner. Like, he's probably one of the better younger owners in the league for sure. I mean, when I say younger, I mean newer is what I'm trying to get at.
And he's got the coolest accent out of all of us.
Yeah, Hunter, if you're listening, I did not expect you to sound like that. That was awesome, man.
Yeah, I was blown away. When I heard that. But yeah, Charles, he's also had a difficult time. 4 seasons, no playoff appearances. I think he's in Jordan's division. I mean, Jordan went 6-6. They call him 7-5. So I mean, I think there's room there for him. Maybe we'll talk about him on another episode, Total Rebuild or something in the future. So we'll see what happens there. All right,
good
Pat.
segment there, Jameson.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. My voice is kind of going out, so I'll let Pat take over here for the noteworthy trades.
All right, like Jameson said, this is top 10 noteworthy trades in LCC history. I promise this time I'm not going to spend 15 minutes, or let alone not even probably a full minute going through the honorable mentions.
Oh my God!
You said 7 minutes last time.
Let me just. Oh yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah, I went off the rails for sure.
Minutes here? Just 27 minutes.
That's what she said.
Yes.
Make sure, Pat, that you tell them how you got these rankings.
Yeah, I was about to do that now. So a couple of different things. You get points for if the player helped you get into the playoffs. Points if the team ended up winning the LCC championship. Points for coming in second place. Points for the player finishing in top 3 in their position. Points for finishing top 5. Points for and then points for losing in the semifinals if they got that far. And then you got bonus points if your team was able to turn around below 500 and make the playoffs because of the trade. So those are the scoring criteria that came up with. I felt like they kind of basically summarized what was a good trade, what is a memorable trade, something that people are, oh yeah, I totally remember that. That definitely helped that team out. So to kick it off, honorable mentions, we're going to run through these really quick. We've got Dan and Isaac in 2016, where Dan gave up, this is crazy, T.Y. Hilton for John Brown and the Eagles defense.
I remember that.
The reason why it was so big is because this literally.
That's what she said.
This was a big.
That's what she said.
This is a big factor in Isaac getting into the playoffs that year for sure. And Brown finished 7th in his position. The Eagles had the 9th best fantasy defense that year. Moving on, we have Mafali and Storm this year, and this was done in the offseason. Some people may not remember this, but Mafali gave up Andrew Luck for Josh Gordon and David Johnson. I remember at the time we were thinking, man, that's a risky trade on both sides. And my opinion, that may have been one of the factors in Mafali not going as deep into the playoffs, because the fact that, dude, Andrew Luck was a solid QB1 in fantasy this year, one of the better ones for sure. And he got David Johnson, who is very forgettable this year. And Last honorable mention, Peyton giving up Alvin Kamara in 2017 to Isaac. No, sorry, vice versa. Peyton
Oh
giving
my
up
God! Why did you have to bring this up?
Kamara, and the only reason this one is not in the top 10 is because Peyton has not been able to capitalize on this trade. I mean, Isaac pretty much gave Kamara away to Peyton, and he still didn't get into the playoffs. So that's the only reason this one is not a top 10 trade, but it is definitely one. Yeah.
All right. So now I'm in defense mode. So the only reason why I did this trade, if I remember correctly, Pat said that this trade was stupid on his part because Kamara was not a house name at this point, and Cooper was.
This was an early trade, early in the year.
And he told me that he thought it was going to be a steal for me, that he didn't like it. But I was like, nah, man, I need a wide receiver. Kamara, AP just got traded from the Saints. Mark Ingram's the guy. This is just going to be a rookie that's going to be back up to him. Well, we know how it goes from there. So that was my thought process.
It's okay, man. It happens. I declined Todd Gurley for Carlos Hyde in 2016, and I laughed at Cameron, and I laughed and laughed. And then Todd Gurley had an MVP season 2017. So,
that literally, if that trade would have happened, it probably would have been a top 3 trade in LCC history. But
all right. Well, we guess what we got, Patrick.
Do it.
We got
do it.
Yeah, here we go.
Number 10.
Woohoo! All right, number 10. This is a pretty big trade in my opinion. I'm sure Jameson, you remember this. 2015, Jameson gave up Big Ben for a 2nd round pick, and some people may think, man, that's why, especially Big Ben back then, because he was a great fantasy quarterback, giving up. Trying to trade away your season. But Jameson, dude, you were struggling at this point in the year. You were pretty much tanking out. You were just trying to get as many picks as you could for 2016 because you knew you were on the struggle bus. And Jade tried to capitalize on that by giving up a 2nd round pick. Now, here's why, a couple reasons why this is big. One, this definitely helped Jade get into the playoffs. I forget his starting quarterback. It was some awful QB2 essentially was his starter. He needed a guy who was consistent like Big Ben to plug in there. But here's the thing. This may have been the trade that broke the camel's back for Jade in 2016. Now, you got to remember, Jade went from going to the semifinals to completely missing the playoffs the following year. And honestly, I believe that was your rookie year when he missed the playoffs. He didn't have a 2nd round pick going into that draft. And I honestly think that may have been a difference maker in Jade not going to the playoffs that year and making a run at it. So this one is one kind of speculate on for sure.
Yeah, this is the year everyone decided to change the rules, and I didn't get all the draft picks that I traded for the year prior. So I'm still very salty about that time period.
And there might be one other trade somewhere in here where Jameson did a similar. No, I don't think there is. But yeah, Jameson tried to get as many picks as possible, and he got a lot of picks, but he didn't really get a lot of picks because we separated the league into 2 different conferences, and because of that, we can no longer have his draft picks anymore because of the fact that it was affecting 2 different drafts, and there was a lot of complications involved. Anyways, yeah, Jameson definitely got the crappy end of the stick for sure.
Yeah, thanks, you jerks. So we'll move on.
Number 9.
All right, number 9, again, 2015. This trade right here is a big one for Colby. Colby ended up giving up Ryan Tannehill and LaShawn McCoy in order to get Sam Bradford and Calvin Johnson from Charles. And I really don't get the point of Sam Bradford and Ryan Tannehill in this trade because they were both pretty irrelevant if you go look at their stats that year. Colby ended up finishing 2nd place that year. He lost to Matt in the Little Critter Bowl. Ended up beating Jade. It was Jade. He beat in the semifinals. And a big reason was because Calvin Johnson helped him get there in 2015. And that was a big trade that really helped solidify him. And if I remember right, Colby already had enough depth at running back where he felt comfortable getting rid of LaShawn McCoy to plug in Calvin Johnson at receiver, and it helped kind of balance his offense out. Whereas Charles, being Charles, man, he was just trying to make some moves to save himself.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Is
But you guys have anything to add to that?
No.
No.
I mean, no. Different times. I mean, it looks fairly even on paper, I guess, except for the quarterbacks. But it is what it is.
I think this trade goes and shows you how many times teams are especially in our league, are so worried about, I've got to make sure my end of the trade is better than this other person's. And somehow these guys thought that throwing in these quarterbacks was going to give one of them the edge, and obviously it was just irrelevant. You know what I mean? You might as well trade the kickers. Like, it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah, exactly. All right, here we go.
Number 8.
All right, so we got here in 2014 a trade between Daquan, who gave up LeGarrette Blount and Dante Moncrief, to Colby for Dez Bryant and Alfred Morris. And some people may think, man, Alfred Morris, what the hell is he doing in this trade? This is stupid. Alfred Morris this year actually was really good. He was averaging 21 points a game, and especially in 2014, 21 points meant a lot more than it does now. And he ranked 13 among running backs that year. And on the other side of it, you also got a playoff berth for Colby and help getting him into the vice versa. This helped push Daquan into the playoffs, getting him to the semifinals, and Dez Bryant was a top 5 receiver. This was like a gimme for Daquan. I mean, like, Garrett Blount last year was very average. Dante Moncrief, irrelevant, essentially. I didn't even put any notes on here because of how relevant he was. I don't even think he was a top 50 wide receiver, which is crazy. And this, I remember when this trade happened, everyone just had a feeling, man, Daquan's going to run away with the championship at this point. I think, and this was a year that the trade deadline was like week 9 or something crazy, maybe week 10. And you see it right there, man, Colby going and tanking his team with that late trade deadline. So this is one for sure that put the favor in Daquan's court, but unfortunately, he ended up getting upset that year in the semifinals.
Yeah, I hope he was tanking because this trade is so lopsided. I mean, for 2014, it's not even close. So these are the reasons we actually have the committees now. It's like stuff like this.
Yeah. Well, LeGarrette Blount in 2013, and Isaac can vouch for this, LeGarrette Blount was a top-notch running back that year. And
he was a boss.
Yes, and that's why this trade was done, was in the hopes that Blount would be able to rebound in 2015. Or I guess, actually, that wouldn't even make sense because we didn't have keepers then. I don't know why Colby wanted LeGarrette Blount because he was very average that year. He wasn't as good as he was in 2013. But yeah, that right there is number 8 in the trades.
Number 7.
Number 7. This goes back to 2017 between Isaac, who gave up Will Fuller and Adam Thielen, to Billy.
Time out. You
made a major flaw there, my friend.
Spoiler alert.
Oh. Wait, did I?
Yeah, you skipped.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did. Sorry. Yeah, I flip-flop these two. Sorry. I'm looking at my Excel sheet right now.
There you go.
Number 7.
There we go. Number
7, Pat. 7.
Yeah, 7 usually. 7 is usually the number after 6, so that makes sense. Anyways, all right. Same year, though, 2017, between Isaac and myself, I gave up Bobby Wagner for Devin McCourty, which I laugh at still. I can't believe I did that because of where Bobby Wagner finished as a Tier 1 linebacker that year. Devin McCourty, I think, was maybe a Tier 2 DB. But to understand the scoring in 2017, if you weren't around that year, was definitely more in favor of linebackers for sure. And my DBs were struggling so bad, man. I was desperate. I needed consistently that side of the ball. And at the time when this trade was happened, Devin McCourty was actually averaging more points than Bobby Wagner. So I went for it. I jumped on it. I was trying to get the playoffs. I was panicking. Again, Tier 1 linebacker for like a Tier 2 DB. It doesn't work out.
Hey, Pat, who won the division that year?
No, get out of here, man. Get out of here.
This was so lopsided when it happened. I remember just like texting Eyes and be like, dude, how did you do that? Like, how did you take Patrick's linebacker like that?
That's funny because that's twice. That is twice I've gotten this text. One, it was for Hopkins, and two, it was for Wagner.
Oh, man.
I've also given a couple people away, but you know.
It was Isaac's mentioned in this list a couple times, and even in next week's episode, he'll be mentioned. But yeah, obviously this helped Isaac turn around his season. We were both actually pretty inconsistent that year. Isaac kind of limped into the playoffs. I would have limped into the playoffs if I would have made it. But that trade right there,
Daquan upset you at the very end of the season.
Yeah,
and I won. No, I lost. Did I lose too?
We had the same record.
You went 6-6.
Yeah,
and you both lost.
We both finished 6-6. But because of the tiebreaker rule up until this coming year has always been points for is the tiebreaker between divisional ties. So so Isaac beat me even though I had the better divisional record. So
that part doesn't matter. Just the I beat you.
And also, it's funny. This trade ended up being used in 2018 the offseason when Isaac traded away Bobby Wagner to essentially get Levante David, which ended up working out pretty good.
And Zach Ertz, I think. Right?
Zach Ertz too. Yeah.
All right, here we go.
It was a twofer.
Don't worry, we're going to talk more about Isaac here in just a sec.
Number 6.
Yeah. So like I basically just blurted out earlier, Isaac in 2017 giving up Will Fuller and Adam Thielen for Glover Quinn, which was Billy's. And this one, man, I'm scratching my head over just as much as the other one, but the other side of this. Like, Adam Thielen, I guess at the time, wasn't as well known as he was this past season.
No, he absolutely was not. He was not a well-known receiver.
So
Will Fuller had like 3 good games. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to cash in on him doing his good games. I'm pulling it up right now. I can tell you what round I drafted Adam Thielen in. I drafted him in the 15th round that year.
Jeez, man. Oh my God!
He was a no name, but I remember him from the previous season where he kind of like broke out towards the end. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna take a late round waiver on him, and I did. But I had Tyreek Hill, Adam Thielen, Will Fuller. Like I didn't have anybody that was actually set, and then my DBs were terrible. So that's why I was like, Glover Quinn was doing good at the time. So I was like, look. Fine, you take Will Fuller, you take Adam Thielen, just give me Glover Quinn, and that was a terrible decision.
I remember you texting everybody to try to get someone to trade you for Adam Thielen or trade Adam Thielen. Like, you texted me like for Devontae Adams, and I said no. And then my brother was at my house, and he's like, "Hey, Isaac just texted me, and he wants Mike Evans for Adam Thielen." And then you said someone else, like Manuel Sanders and something else or something. I can't remember exactly what it was.
Yeah, I tried everybody. But what was also crazy was he told me he would accept C.J. Mosley for Adam Thielen that year. And I said no.
You said no?
That was the year that yes. I said no because I thought I could get more for him.
Oh, my God, dude.
Yes, I know. So now everybody knows.
Yeah.
I like to make trades, but as you can see, a lot of them work out and a lot of them don't. But that's the fun of the game for me.
Funny thing is, though, as lopsided as this trade was, both teams made the playoffs that year. It definitely helped Billy turn around a season. And in my opinion, this trade helped Billy set himself up pretty good for 2018.
Oh, absolutely, because he wouldn't have gotten that far. I mean, granted, Adam Thielen the second half of the season was ghost, but the first half of the season when he needed him the most, he really helped him out. Like he was a top 5 receiver the first half of the season.
For sure. And the thing is some of these trades that you're going to see, especially the ones from 2017, 2018, where we've had keepers, a lot of these championship runs and deep playoff runs are set in motion a whole year ahead of time. The teams making a serious free agent move or going out there making a blockbuster trade and taking risks and sometimes too risky and ends up blowing up in their face. But yeah, that's a perfect example.
That's why you need to be listening now, this early in the offseason.
Yeah.
So you can kind of get on the track, get on the road. So.
Yeah, don't be like a Cameron and just don't trade with anybody. No, it's no fun for anybody. You're sitting here, you're sip sinking, and I'm like, hey, I can help you. Nah, man, I got it. I got some corks I'm gonna plug in. It'll be fine.
Well,
my boat won't sink.
Since we're done, I guess, for the top 10 trades for this week, but just to kind of give you an idea of the seasons that are going to be involved in next week's show. We got a trade from 2012, we got a trade from 2013, we got 2 trades from 2018, and we got a trade from 2015, all in the top 5 of the top 10 trades in LCC history.
Oh.
And I can tell you right now, I'm going to be one of those.
Well, you trade more than anybody, like exponentially more than anybody.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, like I said, that's one of the most parts I really enjoy about this, just seeing if my gut instinct is going to be right. And as you can see, some of them I'm actually pretty dead on. And some of them I don't know what the hell I was doing. I mean, the Thielen, the Kamara, and the Will Fuller were before they got big. I trade people that do good for like 3 weeks, and I try to get something out of it that's actually known and is actually more dependable than a younger guy that you don't really know.
Well, now we know your secret.
So that's where you see – I know, but that's where you see where I make mistakes. So next year and, following years, I'm going to try to, take a step back.
Cool. Were you ready? You ready, Isaac? I mean, this is your but this is your baby. You've been excited all week, so.
This is rapid fire trivia. I am super excited.
I need like a gun sound off.
Someone had to do it. Come on now.
I need to write that down.
All right, I got it. All right, I got it in 3 little sections. I got player based, top shotters based, and elite 12 based. There's 9 questions total. We got a 10 bonus question if we need to, because if you guys don't answer it, you guys don't get any points. But like I said, I will ask Pat and Jameson 9 different questions. 3 will be player based, 3 will be top shotters based, and 3 will be elite 12 based. You have 10 seconds to answer each question, and I will time you. And after I finish reading them, the person who answers the most at the end wins. But for you guys that are listening, try to answer the questions for yourself and see if you can outscore these dumb hosts.
Dumb what?
So, everybody ready?
You say hosts? Like HOSTS? Hosts?
I said host, but I kind of stuttered. So thanks for calling out my stuttering.
All right, go ahead.
But anyway, all right. So I'm about to read it. 10 seconds from when I finish, you have to answer. This is really easy, like Pat's mom. All right.
Ready? I'm not doing boom roasted. She's a nice lady.
She's a nice lady.
Boom roasted. All right. Who was the only player to break the 700-point total mark this season? And go.
Darius Leonard?
Yeah, I would go the same way.
Nope, 10 seconds is up. It was Patrick Mahomes with 773.
Ah, okay. That makes sense.
Darius Leonard did not break 700. So, boom, you both got nothing right.
He missed the game.
Terrible. That was my.
I think he did.
That was my easy question. Come on, man.
So you're telling me these are just gonna get harder?
That's what she said. He said.
All right. What's next?
All right. There was a lot of boom or bust players in this league this year. Which player had the biggest boom game out of any position this season? And go.
I kind of want to say Darius Leonard, though. I mean, he hit at least 80-something, I think.
Alvin Kamara. I'm going on a limb there.
I remember. It's Aaron Donald.
It's technically past the 10 seconds, but Jameson, you are right. It was
He
Aaron
cheated.
Donald.
He cheated. He cheated.
I didn't cheat. Because that was the game.
I'm just messing with you.
The 49ers. Like week 9 or something like that. He had like
I'll give you that because it was just barely over. Yeah, he got 91 points against the 49ers.
Jesus.
Wait, was Darius Leonard close though? Because I know he was close.
I don't have it pulled up, but yeah, he was close. And then obviously Derrick Henry when he broke out with that 87, and Amari Cooper when he had the 81
back, honestly.
catch.
I was thinking someone that just had a real big game, and I don't know.
And what was really crazy was that Amari Cooper and Derrick Henry one was the the week that Billy beat their Jameson.
Yeah, I remember. That's okay. We can move on.
All right, last one in the player-based questions. All right, you guys ready?
Yep.
All right. Which running back finished exactly 24th overall in both 2017 and 2018? I'm going to give you 4 names. You got 10 seconds to choose between the 4. A, Christian McCaffrey. B, Alvin Kamara. 3, Melvin Gordon. Or D, Ezekiel Elliott. And go.
I think I know the answer.
I'm going to go
Kamara.
Alvin Kamara. It's Alvin Kamara.
I said it first.
Yeah, Pat said it first, dumbass.
I was trying to give everyone time to answer. Whatever.
But yeah, what's really surprising when I was looking at this trying to come up with questions, Alvin Kamara finished exactly 24th in 2017, 2018. I just thought that was really random and kind of cool.
Well, it wasn't
honestly.
Zeke because he missed 8 games last year, and Christian McCaffrey was kind of average last year.
Nothing.
So
I knew it wasn't Christian. I rolled that out immediately.
Hey, I mean, I couldn't really think of anybody. I thought about Kareem Hunt. I'm like, well, he kicked that girl, and he was out this year. So
He definitely finished 24.
All right, so now we're gonna go to top shotters. The score is 1-1. All right, so this one, like I said, is easier and goes to harder. Which owner that made the playoffs only had one player to finish in the top 25 for the top shotters? And go.
Hunter.
David.
Yeah, David.
Ooh, yes, let's go. Oh, yeah.
David only had one player finish in the top 25 that made the playoffs.
I was thinking, all right, so essentially what you're saying is one team that shouldn't have been there. David.
Well, if we look at Hunter's metrics.
Oh, Pat, just wait until I get the hours. You talking shit now. You're gonna be really regret that later.
I feel like Pat's an answer.
Question 5.
Later on.
Which two owners tie for the most players to finish in the top 25 that did not make the playoffs for the top shotters? And go.
Jordan.
I mean, fuck. Matt and Cody. I don't know. I just threw 2 names.
Jordan.
I can't think.
That didn't make the playoffs, fool.
Oh, you said didn't make the playoffs?
Okay, restart. Oh my God. 2 players that tie for the most players to finish the top 25 that did not make the playoffs.
Oh, well, yeah.
Obviously, Cody.
Did I say Jordan and Matt, or say who said Cody? Was that me?
Yeah, you said Cody.
Yeah,
I already said Jordan and Matt. You said Cody.
Oh my God! All right. Yeah, I'm disqualified anyway. So did Jameson get it?
No, it was Jordan and Michael.
Okay. That's right.
Yeah, Matt was not in there.
Have guessed Michael. Sorry, bud.
Oh, well,
all right.
That makes sense though, because of his offense, how good it was.
That's true.
Yeah. All right, so this is the last question for the top shotters, and it kind of references back to the last one. Of those 2 owners, how many players did each have? We already know it was Jordan and Michael, but how many did they have that finished in the top 25?
Collectively or each separate?
Each separate. Go. Okay.
I'm going to say Jordan had 3 and Michael had 2.
I just said they had the same.
Oh, they had the same?
Yes.
Your questions are not clear enough. I'm going to say they both had 3.
Yeah.
Yes, they both had 3.
Damn,
now the game is.
Jordan has a squad, man. I know he didn't make the playoffs, but
yeah, he made a push. He made a push at the end of the year. Except
your boy beat him at week 12.
So you guys answered 4 questions out of 6 right. The score is tied 2-2. We are on the last home stretch.
All right.
Week 12 trivia. You guys ready?
Yep.
All right, number 7. There were 3 owners that only had 1 player in the top 25 that made the playoffs. Can you name those 3 players or 3 owners? Go.
Jade, John,
Yep.
and Patrick.
I would say the same thing.
Is that your final answers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's wrong.
Oh,
Pat, Jade, and Billy.
Billy.
Ooh.
Oh, man.
Yes.
Ooh.
Surprising. I know John had CMC. I thought that was about it, but I guess I was wrong.
Yep, you are wrong, sir. All right. So I guess I'm gonna have to use my bonus question after all. All right. I mean, we're not there. We're not there yet. All right. Score is tied 2-2. You guys better get these right. Which owner had the most players to finish in the top 25 that did not make the playoffs? Go.
Cameron.
Tyler.
Keep going. Obviously, I haven't stopped.
Which
Oh,
owner is Tyler.
Oh, you said, wait, is this like multiple people you're talking about?
Oh my God, you guys are terrible at trivia.
Questions are not clear at all.
Yeah.
Which owner had the most players to finish in the top 25 that did not make the playoffs?
Peyton.
Oh, yeah. I said Cameron.
Yeah, Cameron's not right.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Tyler, Peyton.
You gotta keep guessing.
All right.
Yeah, it's not Tyler and it's not Cameron. It was Peyton.
Oh, okay.
Well, you're
Gotcha.
wrong. We cycle through the other 3 answers until we get it right.
Well, I mean, if I obviously don't say anything, that means that you guys did not get it right.
I'm just going to say them all as quickly as I can now.
I know, for real. I'm just going to say all the names.
All the names.
2 more questions. Still tied 2-2.
I can't stop laughing.
How many players did Peyton have to finish in the top 25? So I need a number.
3.
Go.
3,
That's the first.
2,
4.
Pat got it. 4.
I said 4 did.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Don't let him say
No, you
that.
did not.
Yes, I
Don't let him
did.
say it. Don't let him say it. Don't let him say it.
All right, I'm going to edit the podcast
All right.
right here 4 and get pissed off. I said 4 first.
Didn't you say we're playing for $100, by the way?
No.
Yeah, from your expense.
Okay.
Patrick's $100. That's what we're playing for, by the way.
Yeah, so you either keep your $100 or give it to Jameson.
All right.
All right, last question, Jameson. Now you can tie it, and there won't be no winners. You guys will get.
all 6 teams real quick. And I'll
I'm gonna say all-
No, this is a hard one. You're supposed to put. That's what she said. Damn it,
I'm sorry.
Jameson.
I took a no. Listen.
Get with the program. I set you up. I said this is hard.
Listen, Patrick. I took a melatonin like 30 minutes ago. It's kicking in. So I'm like about to fade out here.
All right, let me wrap up my segment. Last question. Peyton had 4 players to finish in the top 25. Can you name those 4 players?
Watson, Kamara.
Watson, Kamara, and Bobby Wagner.
Keenan Allen, Bobby Wagner.
No.
You guys are terrible.
I win. That means I win.
Yep, that means Pat won.
No, well, I said 4
All right.
first, so Patrick didn't win.
No.
You got the Deshaun Watson right. Alvin Kamara was right. He had Saquon Barkley. He finished 9th.
I forgot that
And
part.
Jared Goff finished 10th. He had 2 quarterbacks.
I forgot everyone's roster.
Oh yeah.
I haven't looked at them in like 6 weeks.
I know, right?
Well, I hope you guys that are listening enjoyed my trivia as much as I enjoyed making it. Obviously, this was my first time doing it, so there's going to be a little bit of tweaking going on. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, let me know. If you didn't, let me know so we can either let one of them try or we'll cut it out completely.
I hope they did better than we did.
That's it for me.
Also.
Yeah, please let me know how you guys did. Because if you guys all got it right and these are just dumb people, then it's not bad questions. This is dumb people.
We're just dumb people, but we have the show. So, boom.
Ooh.
Roasted.
Okay, true. Okay.
Oh, one more thing before we get off too. So I've enlisted the help of my father-in-law who has a lot of kind of technical audio background. So he's going to help me out with a lot of the kind of technical side, because none of us are technical by any means at all. We're good with the content stuff. We're good with, some things like that. But so he's going to kind of help me with that. So in the coming weeks, the recorded audio should improve dramatically. So I'm really excited to bring that to you guys. I know I told Patrick. I don't think I even got to tell you yet, Isaac. So I've been, sick last couple of days and things. But so that's something that
you told me.
Okay. All right. Cool. Awesome.
It's that melatonin kicking in.
It's that melatonin. Dude, my eyes are like half closed. Like I'm about to just like sign off right now.
Memory loss is apparently a side effect of melatonin.
But I slept so good last night, man. Oh my goodness.
That's what she said.
Oh.
Damn it.
So good. All right, guys. Well, we are out, and we'll be excited to come back next Friday with our next episode. Bye.
Adios, turd nuggets.
Hey.